Alright, tonight I am tying up what I call the Stave Coho Killer. It's a great little easy tie fly for coho. What I'm going to be tying it on is a size 2 hook, a streamer. I have no idea what this is. It's mustad or something. Hook type doesn't really matter, right? Make sure it's just long enough to fit you what you need. Actually, it's a size 4, not a size 2, it's size 4. It's all going to work. Put a head on it. Or a bead rather. What size bead? Well, this is, I think, a 4mm. Again, use what you like, what you have on your desk. I happen to be using that right now. So that works really good. What are the materials? Well, basically we are going to be using a piece of black hackle as the tail. I tie it a couple different dubbing materials. This is the Fly Angler Arizona Semi-Seal Brown. It's got a bit of brassy flash to it. I like it. Another one I use quite often, same pattern but just different material, is the Ice Dub Midnight Fire. It's just got a really nice flash to it that seems to work good with coho. So either of those right now. I'm just going to use the Semi-Seal Canadian Brown. You're going to see me using an Auto-bobin. This makes tying so much easier, and I use a Norvise rotary vise for tying things up. I'm out of 3/0 thread, 8/0 thread, which is normally what I would use. No, 3/0 is what I normally use. I think this is an 8. Tends to break. I don't like using it, but I'm out, so this is what I'm using now. It takes way longer to put on the base and stop the bead from sliding and a few other things, but I'm gonna get the point for tying this across tonight. So start off by building your head to keep your bead from flying on there. So the benefits of this Auto-bobin is you can set it at different heights and it'll just stay there and automatically rewind the thread. So I'll put things over here, I'll hang my bobber, add materials, just pull it back and it just slides right up. So super slick system, probably about $100 Canadian, thereabouts. Worth it in my opinion for doing a major tying. So yeah, go ahead and build up your head. Like I say, I'm using tiny threads, so this takes a huge amount of time, which I don't like doing on flies. I like fast ties. My stuff isn't a work of art, it just catches fish. That's what I think is important. Every fly I tie tends to be a little different than the other one. You know, sometimes I'll have more dubbing on the body, it'll be a thicker body. Back to the bead size, different size beads will make your fly sink at different speeds. So, you know, if you're using a smaller bead, not a big deal. It's just going to sink a little slower, and that may be better for the water that you're on. When I run out of this size, I'll use the next size down, and it'll be just fine. So tie in your little tail hackle. I just snip a little piece off, kind of roughly do twice the length on the tail, a little loose to wrap around there, make sure it's on the top, and then tie it in. Get a little more down the thing for myself, nice on the top. Do a little half hitch. I throw a lot of half hitches in because I hate it when this super thin line breaks and I have to retie everything because it falls off. So there's your tail on there. Do a little bit of dubbing now. So my dubbing goes on. sometimes easier than others. There we go. Now it's feeding on. Kind of stretch it out so it's nice and even on your thread. Slide it down because it's not doing what I want it to. Alright, dubbing material set up. It's probably not the most consistent, but it's going to work for what we're doing, right? So, kind of build up the back of the hook and build up the body of your fly. I like putting it fairly close to the front because I don't like a big huge head on the fly, right? So there's my body for wings or whatever you want to call it. It's not really wings because we're not imitating anything. I'm using a bit of Flashaboo. This color doesn't even say a color. 6988 number. It's kind of a reddy, brassy color. Let's get that into the camera. There you go. So that's what I'm kind of using for a bit of a wing. And I usually do about 3 strands. I take them, I kind of measure it roughly in half. I cut it, take it, I fold it again in half, roughly cut it, and that's what I'm going to tie on for my, I guess, kind of wings or whatever you want to call it. I'm not real technical. You kind of do your loose wraps, secure it once or twice, pull it tight but not so tight that you're going to bust your line, because I tend to do that with this line. Fold it back, make sure it looks good. They're all roughly the same length. It doesn't gotta be, it's kind of a sparse fly, right? That does the job. It's very effective on the coho. Build up your head, prepare to tie it off. A couple half hitches to seal the deal, and you are done. Head cement, use what you like. I used to use this loon stuff. It works all right. I found it got too thick and I just haven't got around to trying to thin it. This is the second bottle that I use though of Hairline's Double Link Hard as Hull Penetrator. Man, this stuff, fantastic, works really well, and like I say, it's my second bottle now and I will continue to buy it for future. Apply your head and it's all good. So that's the basic fly. Change up your body colors a little bit. Sometimes if I don't put enough body on and I have too much head and I don't like that, I'll just apply a couple wraps of this red in between the kind of wing material and the bead just so it looks nicer. I don't think the fish care. They hit it no matter what, so really just make it pretty for yourself or your buddies who are looking at your flies. That's basically it. Thanks a lot and have a good one.